Guess what? When you're in sales, you need to have some kind of a tracking form, a system for kind of monitoring your progress with your prospects and customers. There are customer relationship management systems. There are sales software programs like ACT or Goldmine and many others, HighRise. Professional salespeople, they don't just randomly do this, as a hobby. They take it very, very seriously. They have huge databases with tons of information about every prospect and every company and every client. You need to do the same thing. You need to track and you need to monitor and measure all your interactions with all of your prospects. Who are your prospects? Networking people, employers, interviewers, recruiters. So believe me, you can't keep all this in your head. Believe me, after you have 2 or 3 or 4 conversations, you're already lost. People amaze me when they say, oh, I don't need anything, I just keep it all in my head. I say, really? And they say, how many interviews have you had? 1. Well, okay. You really need to treat this like a science. It needs to be treated with respect. So you need forms, you need to manage the process very, very closely, very carefully on an ongoing basis. You're going to be having a ton of conversations with 1 million people. You can't keep it in your head. You need to know where you stand, when was your last contact, what was said, what are the follow-ups, put it in your calendar. You need a whole system for tracking and monitoring all of this. Otherwise, you're going to fall flat on your face within about a week. Every person with whom you network will have their own page. Up at the top, you have their name, their background, their phone, their cell phone, their source, date, points of discussion, next steps. So if you talk to them on the phone, you list it here. If you have a meeting, you write it down here. If you have another follow-up phone call, you put it here. If you have some email exchange, you write it down here. This is an ongoing running log of your points of contact with this specific person. That way you always know what happened last, you always know where you stand. You cannot keep this in your memory, so you have to have a tracking system.